Never enough. Voiceover friends, how are you doing? I'm Bill DeWeese. Welcome to the channel. We get together every weekday at this time just to share a thought, tip, trick, strategy, something to get you further down the road to voiceover success. And I appreciate you taking the time to join us. And by the way, this is just the kind of the start of the voiceover day. I have put together a free voiceover community so that we can all hang out together throughout the day, throughout the evening, ask questions, share ideas, encourage each other. This is a community from people who are just figuring out the whole voiceover thing to those who have done it for decades and are very successful. So it's a great mix of people who are interested not only in their own success but in the success of others. And I've put a link below in the description so you can get in today. Hopefully, be a part. As a matter of fact, I'm doing a Q&A this morning along with Chris Cole, who's co-founder of VOFlow. We're doing that this morning in an hour, as a matter of fact. So if you want to get signed into the group, you can join us for that, which happens within that platform and not here on YouTube. All right, and be sure to check in in the live chat. Let me know who you are. Give me your your name, first name, where you're watching or listening from this morning. I always like to acknowledge everybody that's on. So again, appreciate you being here. Yesterday I shared with you, excuse me, the worst advice I've ever heard in voiceover, which is figure out your voiceover niche before you begin marketing yourself. And if you can check out that video, if for some reason you're thinking, wait a minute, I thought that's how I was supposed to do it. No, don't do it that way. And you can check out the video to learn why that is not the best approach. Today, however, I want to share with you the best the best business advice I've ever received. And I've applied it to so many things in my life and certainly to voiceover. And the advice is this: don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just jump in and do it. Have you ever found yourself, especially those of you who are perhaps earlier in your voiceover career, where you've set up your studio, maybe you even have a demo, and now you're at what I call the gap between where you're ready to go, but you need clients and jobs, and there's this big chasm between where you are and where you need to go. And you find yourself kind of walk around in circles trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. And the things that you know that you should do, you're terrified to do. So what do you do instead? Well, you figure, well, if I just get more information, if I can just get some more information on this particular topic of voiceover, then I'll be prepared to do this. You do that, and then you realize it's not enough. And so you think, okay, well, if I can get the right tools, this microphone, the reason people aren't knocking on my door trying to hire me is because obviously I have the wrong microphone. If I just had the right microphone or the right hardware or the right software plugins, if I study that a little more and I just get the right software, then then they'll start, ringing my phone and knocking on my door and wanting to hire me for voiceover. And then you realize that that's not enough either. If I can just gain more confidence, and it goes on and on and on. And what you realize is that you will never, ever have enough of whatever it is you think you need to do the things that you know you need to do. And I'm talking really specifically about marketing, because that's the thing that leaves us exposed, that makes us vulnerable. That's the part of this job where people can say, no, thank you. And it hurts to hear that. Nobody wants to be told, no, don't think I need you. Especially a performer. That's the last thing in the world that we want to hear. So we will do anything to avoid that. And we're always looking and looking and looking and looking, but we never get enough information. We never get enough stuff to help us cross that big gap. So we just stay stuck because we're too afraid to do the things that we know that we need to do. Well, don't feel too bad. You're not alone. It's human nature to think that you're not enough. I've gone through that. I still go through that. And I'm sure you do as well, if you're being honest. It's human nature. And then we start to think, well, maybe it'll be easier if I just go do this. Forget that thing, because this thing's just too scary. It's just too scary. to send an email out to somebody who might tell me no. It's too scary to pick up the phone and call a prospective client who might hang up on me. What if they get mad at me? What that would be like somebody got mad at you, that would be like the worst thing ever. It feels that way. I'm not mocking you. I know what that feels like. I've been there and I go through that. And we think it'll just be easier if we can do this or get that, but it will never be enough. And if that's you, if that's your scenario, you will continue spinning your wheels and going in circles and waiting for something to happen, to magically happen, that's never going to happen because you won't do the thing that needs to be done. You do everything else because we're really good at that. We're really good at finding distractions. And here's the thing. You need confidence to do that, right? But how do you grow confidence? You grow confidence and I wish I had a better, easier answer for you, but I don't. The only way to grow confidence is by doing the thing it is you don't want to do. That's it. The thing that terrifies you the most. It's only by doing that will you grow the confidence that you need. And I think one of the things I love the most about business in general and about voiceover in particular is that it forces me to do things that don't come easy to me. They're not the things that I wake up in the morning. Now, I love to wake up in the morning and think, oh, I get to record today. That's awesome. We all want to do that. What I don't get excited about is think, oh, I want to I'm going to make some phone calls today, or I'm going to send out some emails today. I don't get excited about those things, but I know they're necessary to get to where I want to go, to get those jobs that I so desperately want, right? That we want to do, whether it's just to express ourselves, we love the creative process, or doing it to support ourselves and our families. Um, it just requires doing it. When you sometimes, especially earlier on, you got to white knuckle it. And if you, and I'll be honest with you, most people won't. That's where most people they stop because they're just they feel too fragile and they're just going to their heart's going to implode and things are going to collapse and the ego, the image they have of themselves won't be able to stand up under that kind of pressure. But don't feel bad. Everybody struggles with it. Even the people you're calling, they all deal with the same thing, because it's called being a human. And so if you want to achieve the things you want to achieve, and of course we're talking specifically about voiceover, you're just going to have to do some of the things that you don't feel super confident in, that you haven't figured out yet, that you're still taking training for, figuring if I could just train on this one thing again. And so now you develop the habit of going from training to coach to event to avoid doing the thing that you know how to do. You don't need another coach. You don't need another guru. You don't need to, what you need to do is you just need a little shove in the right direction and just do it. And then you realize that your life it didn't collapse. It didn't come to an end. And worst case scenario, somebody said no. Okay, well, you can survive that. But best case scenario, and what it does happen if you do this enough, you start getting yeses. You start getting jobs. You start getting repeat customers. And before you know it, you've got yourself a very nice voiceover career. But it never comes until and unless you walk the path that you don't want to walk. And it does get better. It gets easier. You become a better person. You become a more confident person, not just in voiceover, but in all areas of your life. And again, I wish I could just give you a pill that said, all right, this is going to make it all easy to do the things that that you're afraid to do. No such thing exists. It's only you can't walk around these things. The only way through them is literally through them. You have to walk through them. And the great thing is it does grow you and it makes us better people for doing it. So that's my word of encouragement. It might not be what you wanted to hear, but that's the way these things work. And here's the thing, it doesn't matter who you are, what walk of life, it doesn't matter how long you've done this or how much you've struggled. You can do this. You are capable of doing this. And so what I would encourage you to do is don't think way out into the future into, this career and what you've got to do to get there, all the calls or the emails or all you need to think about is today. What can you do today? Can you send out 3 emails to prospective clients today? Can you do that? Can you do one? Just one and see what happens. What about phone calls? Oh, that's the one that really terrifies people. Are you willing to try that? And I'm not saying you've got to make phone calls to be successful in voiceover. I'm just saying I think it's the most underutilized tool at your disposal. It's highly effective. And I would challenge you just to, don't worry about, don't think, okay, I've got to make hundreds or thousands of phone calls over the course of my, no, just do a phone call today and just see what happens. Even if it's a worst case scenario. You know, I've done this for 20 years. Nobody has ever swore at me over the telephone when I called. Nobody, to the best of my knowledge, that I could tell, ever got angry with me. The worst case scenario I heard, for me has been, we don't need anybody right now. Okay. I didn't disappear. I wasn't injured, damaged, permanently damaged by that. Maybe my ego a little bit, but I survived and my confidence grew and I was able to go, jump back in and do it again. And you will too. So you get what I'm saying. It's, all the stuff that you're doing, it'll never be enough to build the confidence that you think you need to do this. And you don't need confidence to do this. What you need is courage. You need courage to do the thing that you're trying so hard to avoid. And if you'll only do that, it will change everything for you. And I'll tell you one thing that makes it easier to do these things is when you have people in your corner who are supporting you and know your situation and people and where you can invest in other people as well. And that's what this voiceover community is all about. And that's why I want to encourage you to get in the group today. The link's below. Just, it doesn't cost you anything except the time and the energy that you're willing to put in to support, help other people. And of course, you're going to receive that back in return. And it's a beautiful thing. So if you're not in it, I hope you'll join us today. Let's check in on the live chat and see what's up. We've got GS in Longview, Washington. What's up, GS? Corey, Whitehall, Wisconsin. Yeah, we got some of our VO flowers, not flowers, but flow-ERS. Notice how I did that? Yeah, I corrected myself from yesterday. VO flowers. Good to see you guys. That's the name of our group. Dave in Knoxville, what's up? Corey encouraging everybody to smash the like button. I appreciate that. Yeah, appreciate the enthusiasm, Corey. Sheila, what's up? Good morning to you from Albany, New York. John, what's up in Denver? Rusty says, Bill, glad to have you back on the video screen on the regular. Thank you. I appreciate that, Rusty. Missed you a lot. You are motivational. Thank you, Rusty. I'm glad to be back, and I appreciate you. Jason says, good morning from Kearney, Nebraska. Let's go, VO fam. Phil says, great to hear your wisdom again. Phil from Hershey, Pennsylvania. Hey, Phil, how's it going? Good to see you, man. Joe, yeah, he's one of our VO flowers, checking in in the UK. Have a Wizard Wednesday. Will do, Joe. Thank you. Mandolin, morning to you. We got Matt. What's up? Lisa, Colorado. Jason says, amen, Bill. Kaizen, one brick at a time. That's the way you do it. First timer from Marquette, Michigan. Thank you, Bill. Hey, thank you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate that. Lisa says, I missed your live motivation every morning. Well, Lisa, thank you. I missed being here. I'll be honest with you, it was hard. I thought, okay, yeah, I'm going to retire from the training thing. And I about lost, I think I've mentioned this before, but about lost my mind. I was just wandering around aimlessly. I mean, when I wasn't recording, of course, I still have my voiceover career. So I was recording, but when I wasn't, usually I was working on voiceover training stuff. And without that, I was like a lost puppy for the past year. So it's really good to be back. Well, don't forget, in 45 minutes, it's the big Q&A within our community, and you've got to be there to be a part of that. And so again, links below in the description. So if you're not in, make sure you get in. You guys have a wonderful day. And remember, just do something today that you don't want to do that you know you need to do. Just one thing and do it. It really, I promise you, it will make a difference. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.